I'm Sean Casey, Liberal Member of Parliament from Charlottetown. Well, this is actually my third year. Each of the first two has been a very positive experience. What motivated me from the outset was really a couple of things. First, my personal hero, I would have to say, is a young lady by the name of Kirsten Cameron. Kirsten was a very good hockey player in Prince Edward Island. She went on to coach in the United States at a high level. And one day, went out for a bike ride, she was struck by a drunk driver. And to watch her come back to being a productive, contributing member of society has been a true inspiration. So Kirsten Cameron would be the first reason, and the second, to be honest, was Myrtle Jenkins-Smith. Myrtle Jenkins-Smith was the president of this organization, and she's done so much for the community. When I knew that Myrtle was involved, I knew it was a first-class organization, and I'm happy to be associated with it. Everyone needs to be given a fair chance to contribute, and there shouldn't be barriers. And so accessibility is important, just to give people a fair shot. I mean, day in and day out in the House of Commons, we're standing in there and we're fighting for equality of opportunity. And equality of opportunity means a whole lot of things, whether you're talking about economic equality, whether you're talking about access issues, but the principle is still the same. In our society, everyone needs a fair shot, and that applies to those with mobility issues as much as it applies to people with economic issues. So accessibility is extremely important, and it's extremely important on a bigger scale to who we are as Canadians. Everyone in Canada deserves a fair shot. Some people have been dealt a curveball in their life. Spinal cord injury is one of those curveballs, but it needs to be looked at and it needs to be treated as nothing more than a curveball, something that we can overcome. But no one person can do it alone, and it's quite common for Canadians to pitch in and help people that have had a curveball, and this campaign is a chance to do that. Canadians should care about accessibility in their communities because it's the right thing to do. It's the Canadian thing to do. It ensures that everyone in the community has a fair shot at making a contribution. And that's critically important in terms of the self-esteem of those who have disabilities, but also in terms of making the community stronger. Everyone needs to have a fair shot. The community benefits. My hope is that I can play a part in raising awareness, and that's my goal, is to get as many people paying attention as possible. We have at least a couple of other people in the Greater Charlottetown area with mobility issues that have sustained spinal cord injuries that are true community leaders and have made a marvelous contribution in our community. One of them is Keith Mullins. Keith Mullins has had a long and distinguished career. He's made an outstanding contribution and has received a Lifetime Contribution Award from the Greater Charlottetown Area Chamber of Commerce. He's also been an employment advisor with the Workers' Compensation Board. And Keith is a guy that, despite having sustained a spinal cord injury, he's so positive, and he's so positive all the time. And he has inspired me and many, many others. And the other I know that you know well is Tony Dolan. Tony Dolan, someone who was stricken with a spinal cord injury at a fairly young age, and he has gone on to do great things in his community and on a national stage. So I feel blessed, really, to live in Prince Edward Island and to have these people who have overcome physical challenges to be not just full contributing members of our communities, but really leaders provincially and nationally. It's a real source of pride.